to have with us the Director of the Office of Research Sciences from our funder, NIDLR, Dr. Phil Beatty. He oversees NIDLR's portfolio of disability and rehabilitation research grants. He's also been a staff member with the U.S. Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, and brought to that work his own personal expertise derived from his time at the National Rehabilitation Hospital Center for Health and Disability Research in the topic of health and long-term care experiences of people with disabilities. So we are thrilled to have someone from our NIDLR leadership with us to help kick us off. Mike is yours, Phil.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. And hello, everyone. Again, my name is Phil Beatty. I am the research director at the National Institute on Disability, Independent Living, and Rehabilitation Research, otherwise known as NIDLR. My visual description is that I am a middle-aged white male with a bald head and a gray-white beard. I'm wearing a black jacket over a light blue shirt with an open collar, and I'm in front of a white background. For those of you who may not know about NIDLR, as Kathleen said, we are a center within the Administration for Community Living, which is in the larger U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We make grants to research organizations who are building up research-based knowledge about the experiences and outcomes of people with disabilities. We are particularly interested in building and promoting knowledge about the health, employment, and community living outcomes among people with disabilities. Our organization, NIDLR, we've been sponsoring disability research in the United States since 1978. The U.S. Congress authorized our disability research programs as part of the Rehabilitation Act, which was the first civil rights legislation in the United States for people with disabilities. We are the only research sponsoring agency in the U.S. government that I know of that was created as an integral part of a broader civil rights bill. And that distinction is really important to us. We have always been a disability research organization that promotes the creation and use of practical research-based knowledge in the real world. We do not sponsor research for research's sake, and we are not funders of the ivory tower. In our earlier decades, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we referred to the process of promoting research knowledge as knowledge dissemination and utilization. It was about 20 years ago when we began using the knowledge translation terminology. Regardless of the language that we're using, we've emphasized the need for knowledge translation for a long time. And high quality knowledge translation work has been a signature characteristic of NIDLR grantees' work really for decades. Inclusion of people with disabilities is a key factor in knowledge translation work. At NIDLR, we have long provided guidance to the field about the importance of inclusion of people with disabilities in the research grants that we sponsor. We see disability inclusion as an important marker of disability research quality. The NIDLR grantees who are in attendance today will know this, but others should also know that NIDLR proposals are evaluated on the extent to which people with disabilities are included in proposed research activities. The main point that I want to make here is that disability inclusion is a key ingredient of NIDLR-sponsored research and knowledge translation activities. Regarding this conference, I really appreciate that the title of the conference reflects two of the major emphases of NIDLR's current long-range plan, which we published earlier this year. If you haven't had a chance to check out our new long-range plan, all you have to do is Google NIDLR long-range plan, and you'll be taken right there. Disability inclusion, of course, is a major emphasis of the plan, as it has been a major emphasis of ours, again, for decades. Another major emphasis of the plan, of our most recent plan, is taking an intersectional approach to designing research projects and data collection plans. Again, the main point is the importance of designing and conducting disability research with people with disabilities from underserved populations who face barriers to positive outcomes based on their disability and on their racial and ethnic background, their sexual orientation or gender identity, their age, their rural or urban environment, or other factors. So I want to thank Dr. Murphy and her excellent team at the Center on Knowledge Translation for Disability and Rehabilitation Research, which is run by the American Institutes for Research. They've worked with all of the presenters and worked with the field to create just a great program for us that reflects these major emphases that I've just been talking about. The program highlights KT considerations as critical components of high-quality research. The program features US-based and international presenters who are doing outstanding inclusive research and knowledge translation work within the field of disability research. So with all of that being said, it really is my pleasure to be included on the agenda with all of the excellent presenters to come. And it's my pleasure to welcome you all here to this conference. Welcome to all of the attendees who are in the US and all of our colleagues from Canada and many other countries as well. So on behalf of all of my coworkers at NIDLR, including our Deputy Director, Christy Hill, and our knowledge translation leaders, Linda Vo and Pimjai Sudsawad, please just really have an excellent conference together. We look forward to learning from you all and to interacting with everyone here.